The life of man has always been an inward, constant battle, a struggle to integrate his own being, even knowing that the destination is the inevitable encounter with the self. Carl Jung understood this as few others have. For a woman, the recognition of your scars doesn't mean she wants to cure them. It means she admires the fact that you journeyed into the dark to claim them. From early on, you were told that women seek strength in a man, but the truth is different. What truly fascinates them is not strength itself, but the strength that has been forged by facing the shadow, the hidden self. Jung made it clear in his writings that the great challenge for the feminine psyche is its deep-seated connection to the collective unconscious, sometimes at the expense of individual consciousness. And consciousness, my brothers, begins with the integration of your own being. What you project as a sacrifice for her is not seen as a gift to be thanked for. It is simply the natural unfolding of the psychic process. It is not about malice. The illusion was yours, thinking that openly suffering for love would win her admiration. In reality, your suffering was never a burden to her. From the beginning, it was a symbolic offering you gave without her asking for it. When speaking about the woman's nature, Jung was not condemning. He was making profound revelations about the archetypal human experience. The feminine exists primarily to ensure the continuity of the species and the psychic connection to the collective. And that mission demands much more than romantic love. It demands strength, resilience, and the capacity to endure the process of individuation. You fight, you strive, and you build, because that is how the universe measures the value of your inner journey. The feminine affirmation, which seems so distant, is not given to the light-hearted and unconscious man. It is reserved for the one who carries his inner burdens without ever being consumed by them. What truly captures a woman's gaze is not your easy victories, but your ability to remain whole while facing your own inner demons. The archetypes molded women to admire not the man who is strong in times of peace, but the one who remains steadfast even in the midst of a psychic storm. Jung, in his brutal clarity, warned that the feminine is naturally focused on the immediate, on the tangible needs of the psyche. Her tests, her apparent coldness are not signs of cruelty, but tools of psychic survival. In her world, only men who integrate their shadows earn their place. A woman, without knowing it, is both a mirror and a forge for masculine consciousness. She challenges not to destroy you, but to mold you. The feminine doesn't bring hatred to the masculine spirit. She is the mirror that reveals whether you are prepared to carry the crown of your own consciousness. A crown forged not in pleasures, but in psychic scars. She doesn't test you to break you. She tests you to reveal who you are. And if you understand this, you will never again see her nature as an enemy. You will respect it, and you will rise to your own true potential. The wise man doesn't fight the storm. He builds a stronger boat. Jung didn't preach hatred toward women. He called for understanding. To marry is to enter a deep psychic union, he said, not in a bitter tone, but as a warning. Don't expect a woman to change. You change. Strengthen your character. Refine your spirit. If she finds power in your suffering, let it be in a worthy suffering and not in the despair of a man broken by his own illusions. When you carry your struggle without seeking applause, without begging for recognition, you will stop being a child crying for attention. You will become a whole man who understands that his strength is not in not feeling pain, but in facing it and integrating it without breaking. Suffer not to be seen. Suffer to polish your spirit. And if in the midst of it all she comes to admire you, it will be because you didn't seek admiration. Life storms, and just as iron is purified in fire, the true masculine spirit is molded in the midst of suffering, not by running from it, not by complaining, not by blaming, but by embracing it as an inseparable part of your path. Every wound you endure in silence, every betrayal you overcome without becoming bitter, Every fall you get up from without losing your dignity, all of that is part of the invisible price you pay to become a conscious individual. The majority will never understand this price. The majority continue to seek comfort in a world that only respects psychic resilience. And that's why so many end up broken, bitter, feeling betrayed by the expectations they themselves nurtured. But you, who have come this far, have already crossed a threshold that very few have the courage to cross. You are beginning to see life not as a place to receive, but as a field where you must build yourself, blow after blow, loss after loss. It's not easy love that forms a man. It's not immediate applause or automatic approval. It's the silence after the fall. It's the loneliness that strikes at dawn. It's the weight of knowing that even when no one else sees, you are still there resisting. The woman who is worthwhile, the one who will truly respect your soul, will not be the one who is moved by your shed tears, but the one who sees how despite the pain, you are still standing. And this is where you must understand something profound. A woman, even when she loves you, is tuned to a code older than any modern promise. She respects consciousness, resilience, and an unyielding presence, not because she is cruel, but because in the deepest part of her nature, her instinct knows that the man who survives pain without bending will also be the one who can protect her, guide her, and offer her something real in a world full of empty psychic projections. It's not about being invulnerable. The true man is not the one who never falls, but the one who, even broken inside, still walks as if each step were an act of rebellion against the unconscious. So, no longer fear the tests, no longer fear her indifference, or her challenges, or her doubts. Each of those tests is a sacred opportunity to prove to yourself who you are. Not for them, not for her, but for you. Life owes you nothing. No one owes you anything, but you owe yourself the highest truth, that of not betraying the warrior within you. And remember, calm seas never made skilled sailors. It's the storm, the darkness, the brutal swell that molds navigators worthy of crossing unknown oceans. So it is with you. Every blow, every fall, every scar is not the end. Today's world glorifies exposure, immediate gratification, empty validation, but you are being called to something much greater. To build a life that does not need to be flaunted to be great. A life that stands on its own, firm, even if no one sees it. Even if no one recognizes it, a life whose only witness is yourself. Every time you look in the mirror and find a man there who chose silent greatness over ephemeral comfort, you will know that, in the end, it's not about how much pain you avoided or how many pleasures you accumulated. It's about how much you were able to resist without breaking, how much you stayed true to yourself when everything around you tried to convince you to give up. Every test overcome in silence is a promise kept to yourself, a confirmation that the fire you carry within is stronger than any wind that tries to extinguish it. So keep walking, brother, with scars, with doubts, with silences, but keep going, because every conscious step you take, every fall you get up from, every dark night you get through without losing faith in yourself, is taking you to a place very few reach. The place where true greatness, the kind that needs no witnesses or applause, becomes part of your essence. The man who understands his own suffering and transforms it into wisdom becomes a silent beacon in a world that is shipwrecking in search of empty pleasures. He does not need to raise his voice to command respect. His mere presence, his very way of being in the world, conveys a strength that cannot be learned in books or faked in speeches. It is the authority born from having walked through fire and not having lost his essence. You are not defined by your falls, but by the way you choose to get up. Every mistake, every betrayal, every disappointment can be one more stone on the path, or it can be part of the foundation that will support the life you want to build. The choice is yours. It always has been. Life does not reward those who do not fall. It rewards those who, after falling, decide not to stay there. And even if it hurts, Even if it sometimes seems unfair, you must remember that adversity does not come to destroy you, but to show you what you are made of. So don't ask why me. Instead, brother, ask what for. Every challenge brings with it a sacred opportunity to elevate yourself. Every loss can be the beginning of an internal conquest. Every silence, an opportunity to listen to what truly matters. You were not created to give up. You were created to defeat yourself and, in that process, to light the way for others who are still searching for their own strength.